Hello, everyone. This is Thesia Ellis, and welcome to This Grandma's Life podcast. When I'm recording this, it is December 15, 2022, and this is episode 11. Beekeeping, anyone? So I'm going to start out with a quote of the day, and I can explain to you a little bit later about what this quote means to me tonight. But it's life is 10% of what is handed to us and 90% of how we react to it. Charles R. Swindoll. I'm going to say that again because I kind of slurred it a little bit. Life is 10% of what is handed to us and 90% of how we react to it. By Charles R. Swindoll. Okay. Yep, I'll cover that a little bit more in a few minutes. My product of the day. Oh, darn, I need to find it. I'm kind of excited about this. This Grandma's Homestead. I'm trying to get it right. This is a calendar, and I'm selling it for $15. And just send me a message or something, and we'll see to get things worked out. But I've got different pictures. Obviously, very first one I show you is a picture of my granddaughter, but there's other pictures in here that says loading up birds, and I've got several pictures in here, and so I'm really proud of this. This is the first time I've ever done a calendar or anything like this. And of course, it was kind of exciting after changing the name of the channel in the first place. I think that's part of what took so long for me to get the channel changed, the name of it changed, because I just had so many things in the works for it. Like I've got some mugs in the works coming too. So, but right now, because it's for the end of the year, I need to get the calendars out. So, like I said, if you are interested, send me a message. I haven't got we're working on getting a website set up, but I haven't got it done yet. But we can work out a way for you to get one of my calendars. Okay, farm happenings. Oh my gosh, guys, it's been cloudy and rainy and misty and cloudy, and we did have some. We do get a little bit of last couple of days. We've actually had some sunlight, but man, it was like the clouds went away and it got cold. So I mean, it's not freezing cold. It's been getting below freezing at night the last couple of nights, and only in the 40s in the daytime. But the wind is wicked. So but before that, it's been cloudy and rainy. Guess what happens when it's cloudy and rainy? The charge for your electric net fencing does not get recharged, and there's been a couple of times that the pigs have gotten out, and it's been kind of, you know what? The pigs themselves are not too bad as far as rounding them back up and getting them back where they need to go. It's getting them. I mean, they're out. Might as well get them a new place to be. And so, moving the fence, moving the A-frame, moving the water, the barrel water, and in the mud, obviously, because it's been raining and everything. But so that's been kind of a mess with it. But like, okay, Tom, we went to one of Kenzie's basketball games the other day, and it was dark after we came home. So the birds are already asleep. I was kind of hoping the pigs were asleep. Probably should have thrown something out for them, but on hindsight, it wouldn't have done me any good. Because I think the pigs got out while we were at the basketball game. So an hour or so after we got home, Tom went down to the barn to uh, close it down, and he said something, and he didn't know the pigs were out at that time. He goes in there, and something black runs past him in the barn, and it scared him. And so he was out there completely in the dark. And we're kind of out. We've got our neighbor across the road's got one of those sodium lights, but other than that, it's pretty dark where we are out there. And he didn't have his flashlight on. And so he was in the complete dark, and so he didn't know what had run past him. And then it snorts, and it come running toward him. So by then he'd gotten his flashlight on and seen that one of the pigs had gotten out. And then so when he called me and said, "Hey, the pigs are out." Well, ended up all three of them were out. Two of them were in the vineyard. One was in the barn. And they got out two different times. And both times they made a mess in the barns, particularly because I don't know if you've seen some of my YouTube channels. I try to keep a backup of feed. And I had a backup tub of feed on the floor level in a tub, but he leaned into it and busted it open. And I had egg crumbles for chicken feed everywhere. and he was eating it. And then the second time they got out, all three of them had busted the second tub of it, and they were all chowing down. They ate the dog food that was in the bowls. They dumped over the dog's waters. It was a mess. But I got him back in. Well, we both got him in that back in that one time, and then of course Tom was at work the second time, and so got him set up, got him found a charger that had some charge on it, and they're back together and in their pens and happy. Well, I mean they're happy as they could be. Well, they got fresh grass, they get fed well, really well. They get to be together. It's not a bad life. So that's what the farm happenings are. I'm as like I said, I'm actually glad that the sun came out, but it has been um, cloudy and rainy for a while, and that created a problem. My three things for today were to exercise, and I tell you what, I love going to the gym and I love working out and I love going to the classes and working out. At home, I really struggle with it. I really want to get something else done besides exercise and stuff, but I have got to keep myself limber. And the exercises I do at the gym don't necessarily make me limber. So I've been doing some yoga at home, and I did it. I was hoping to get enough gumph about me to actually not only do the yoga exercises, but maybe go jogging a couple miles. But it was windy and cold today, and there was no way I was getting out in that for just to jog. Not today anyway, but I did exercise. So my number one thing was to exercise, and I got that done. My second thing was changing letters on the marquee. I did not. I'm sorry. It was cold and windy. But I think it said like it was in the 40s, but felt like 25. So that's not fun. And I can do cold, but I can't do cold wind. I'm just getting to the age where cold wind just like it cuts through me. I don't want to be out here. I'm not want to do it. So I do the chores and I take care of everything I have to do. I did unload a whole bunch of feed today and get it put away, and braved everything then. But I did not want to climb out onto a thing and change the marquee. So I did not do that. The number three thing, as usual, is to record a podcast. And not only am I in the process of getting this podcast recorded, but I got the one I did the other day actually posted, and so it's available for you to see. So, yeah, eh, not bad. I didn't do the marquee. I exercised, didn't do the marquee, but I'm doing the podcast. Still way behind on video stuff, and most of the problem is because of basketball season. I record everything. Whatever Kenzie's doing, I record it. When she was doing softball, I did softball. When now she's doing basketball, and I record it. And then I need to find a class, and maybe some of you guys know where to do this. When you do videos and stuff, how do you catalog your clips? And you gotta. I go through them all and make notes about what each clip is, and then I have a special record keeping thing that I do in notebooks, like it's the date, and whether it's for basketball or baseball, or not baseball, but softball, or just regular, just regular for the date, and then the clip number for that particular video. So, but it takes time to getting them off of your camera or phone onto the computer, getting them cataloged, labeled, and stuff. And then later on, especially with the basketball and the softball, I go back through and edit them too. Well, I'm editing video for basketball, but I'm still editing video for the softball season. And then I've got my this podcast, and then I've got my main channel, the Grandma's Homestead, and that's the one I'm mostly behind. Well, no, that's not true. I'm behind on all of it, but the Grandma's Homestead, and then I'm in the middle of something for the farm animal life too, because I've got lots of footage for the farm animal life. I just haven't gotten it taken care of, and where I could edit it enough to actually even get up onto that site. So yeah, I'm behind, but I'm getting there. That's all I could say. Okay, what I'm reading, I'm still going to read you excerpts of Dan Brown's The Origin, or just Origin, and I've got a couple of excerpts of it that I found was interesting. And like I said, I love reading novels and learning things, and this is just one of the things I mean, some of the stuff you kind of know, but when it gets reiterated, sometimes in a novel, you go, yeah, yeah, I know that. That's pretty cool. So this one's on page 513. Yeah, I'm kind of getting through the book. I think I'm going to have enough uh, marked for one more podcast on that, but that's okay because I've already got other books I'm reading. Okay, so what is this? I have to turn on a light so I can see that. This is bicameralism. So this is describing bicameralism as like the two-lobed brain, left and right hemispheres. Oh, the bicameral mind, Langdon now realized. One of the things that made human beings so creative was that the two halves of their brains functioned so differently. The left brain was analytical and verbal, while the right brain was intuitive and preferred pictures to words. And I think that I mean we all know that there's left brain, right brain. God, what's going on in my mouth tonight? And so, but I guess I never thought about. I knew about analytical, but not necessarily verbal, and I knew about intuitive, but not necessarily preferring pictures over words. But I think that's interesting. So, also on page 531, it says the first cause. Edmund declared, that's the term Darwin used to describe this elusive moment of creation. He proved that life continuously evolved, but he could not figure out how the process all started. In other words, Darwin's theory described the survival of the fittest, not the arrival of the fittest. And I have to admit, I think I agree with that. So I thought that was interesting too. All right, this last one. Throughout history, fearful believers had fallen prey to apocalyptic prophecy. Doomsday cults committed mass suicide to avoid the coming horrors, and devout fundamentalists ran up credit card debt believing the end was near. There's nothing more damaging for children than loss of hope, Valdeспino thought. And that's kind of true too. I mean, okay, because I like to listen to different things for prepping and for. I mean, well, and I go to church too. At church, I always talk about this. This must be the end times because of what's going on in the world. And I don't know, maybe not. The Bible also says that nobody knows, so I try not to dwell on that too much. But you do listen to people who call into some of these shows or write in or comment and stuff saying, yeah, how close to the end do you think we are? So maybe I can run up a whole bunch of credit card debt and get things set up and then not have to when then the banks will collapse and I won't have to pay anything back or stuff like that. There's a lot of that going around. I don't know about a lot of it, but I've heard it for certain. But the last sentence though is that, not having hope for young people. And I agree. When I talk to my granddaughter Kinsey a lot about, not a lot, but I talk to her about what's going on in the world. I certainly ask her what they're teaching her in school and what their philosophies are for some of that stuff. But and she hears, everybody's always talking about end times and stuff, and the collapse of government, and how I don't know. There's a whole bunch of different aspects, and I want her to kind of know what's going on, but I also try to stress to her that in general, this life is a pendulum. So, uh, even if things do get bad, and she knows that I'm prepping for bad. I feel like we're going to come on to the next Great Depression. Well, that's not a wonderful thing to tell your grandchildren or your children or something like that. So I want to, uh, I want her to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and what my plans are for it, not to have her to worry, but so that she won't worry. I want her to know that things could happen, but I'm doing my very best to be prepared for it. And no matter what, I will take care of her. And somewhere down the road, things will get better. And so that I hope to never have to, that she never has the fear of losing all hope, no matter what, especially if she's with me. So I thought those were three little excerpts that I thought were kind of interesting, and I thought I would share with you. Oh, what's on my mind? Oh my gosh, guys, it's Christmas time. We got the Christmas parade happening this weekend. This is the first annual foil Christmas parade. And I was hoping to, like I said on the previous one, I was hoping to do a booth for it. But we got the Helping Hands Clothing Ministry that morning, and then I'm meeting with hopefully with a bunch of kids, the youth group that I get to work with on Wednesday night. Love working with these kids; they're so fun. And especially since we have, I'm going down a rabbit hole here, but our little town has so many foreign exchange students that it amazes me that they come here and love it. I was talking to one last night. I asked him, do you like it here? He goes, yeah, yeah. And so we've got several families that sponsor these kids. And I think we've got two kids in our little bitty town. I think they said there's like 500 in our school. Two from Brazil, one from Finland, one from Spain. No, maybe two from Spain, and another one from Germany. Those are the ones that I know of, and they're all just wonderful kids. And of course, the kids that are from around here are wonderful too. So that rabbit hole, excuse me. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have a bunch of them show up and help us, Tom and myself, to decorate the float. I know a bunch of them are not going to be there because the families who host them are going to be heading off to Branson for the holiday. So I don't know how many people are going to have to show up Saturday, but you know what? Whoever shows up can have fun with us, and whoever shows up that night can ride on the float with us too. It'll be fun. Okay, the children's Christmas program. That was last. It's still in my mind this week. It was last weekend, and on Sunday. And you know what? Considering how few people actually showed up for rehearsal, it went really well, and I was really grateful. Especially, I was really grateful for the woman who put so much work into it. So that's done, and I'm glad it's over. Now the adult play, and we finally decided to go ahead and postpone it till sometime in January, which is fine with me because it was not a Christmas theme. It was an encountering Jesus theme, so we can do it any time of the year. And with all the stuff that we got going this time, then yeah, I'm glad we postponed it because I haven't even had a chance to start to try to learn my lines, and we're getting a lot of blocking. Okay, telling you where to go on stage and when to leave and when to come in and where, all that other stuff. So it needed a lot of work. Plus, we're doing some songs in between some of the little clips, and I think we rehearsed one of the songs one time. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. So that's what's on my mind too. Basketball. The girls did the Copan tournament. Let's see, they won the first game, lost their second game, and went to it was a double elimination. So even though they lost their second one, they went, I believe it was Saturday, to play the rest of the tournament, and they won. So they got third place for the tournament, and I was really proud of them for that. Last night? I think it was 2 nights ago. The girls played Barnsdall. They should have won. They could have won. It was Kenzie played exceptionally well. I've been going over the footage, and I try not to say that just because she's my granddaughter and stuff. But I was watching, and I watch the kids and I see how they're doing. And some of those girls, they give their whole heart and they do a wonderful job. And others, there was like in the last quarter, they were starting to fall apart in this first part of the second half. But the fourth quarter is like, oh my goodness, they were missing shots bad. They were missing passes, and yeah, we lost by 2 points, but they've been low scoring. It was 28-26, so I can't say like I don't know. So as far as what's the word I want, percentages go, yeah, that was kind of a big loss, but not necessarily technically. But yeah, they threw that game away, and that's unfortunate. But I love watching the basketball. It kind of I get a little bit nervous watching Kinsey because she really is like a little pinball out there. She gets knocked around so much. There was one time I was watching the clips and she got tripped twice within a 15-second period. Literally, she got, and nobody tripped her on purpose, but she just tripped, fell, got up, and tripped on somebody else and fell. It's the poor little thing. She's only 5'1". I think she's 5'1.5", something like that. I don't know. And so the other girls are at least 5'8", 5'9", so her shots get blocked a lot. But she's a good little guard. I'm really proud of her for that. So that's what we got is a basketball tournaments or a basketball game last night. They were going to play tomorrow night, but I guess that other team, they didn't have enough girls to play. So they are not going to play again until the 29th of December. Yeah, that's kind of weird, huh? Okay, my main subject. And this goes back to my quote. Let me go back and read it one more time. Life is 10% of what is handed to us and 90% of how we react to it. And I said that because, okay, several years ago, Tom was a very avid beekeeper. And if you look at some of our early videos back when I was Ellis Family Farms, I'm thinking maybe even 4 or 5 years ago, there's quite a few beekeeping videos on there. And and I was there with him. I took the classes with him. I videoed him doing everything as much as I could. In fact, even just a couple years ago, I've got a video of us helping some of our friends split some hives because I think she had a bad shoulder and he was sick and they needed help with stuff. So we went over there and helped them with their beehives and got them set up. But Tom just quit, just flat quit. I think it's about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. He had built up to like 85 hives and then just walked away from them. So, you know, 10% of what's handed to you. I can't handle that many beehives. And I kept thinking he was going to go back to them because he had such a love for them. He had developed such knowledge and was willing to help. And anybody was eager to give information, was just really into it, and then just flat dropped him. And I think I have, it's been a while since that, but I think there's like two hives that are still going last time we looked. But yeah, I don't know. But I was at, where was I? I think I was at the Barnsdall game the other night, and a woman came up to me and she goes, "Are you Kinsey Lackey's grandma?" And I'm going, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, can you come and talk at our meetings?" Because I've discovered recently that we've got a couple of Homestead ladies meetings, which I think is exciting. One of them meets on like Tuesday nights, though, and that's when I'm doing the the Fireside Freedom podcast whenever I'm not at a basketball game or something. But that's special to me. So I haven't gone to that one, but she said this one's from Mays County. It's over by Pryor, and so they want to know if I could come speak. And I'm going, yeah. What do you want me to speak about? She wants me to speak about beekeeping. I'm thinking, really? Can I talk about beekeeping? Because I was not the technically beekeeper. But then it didn't take me long to realize, I wasn't actually in the hives with Tom all the time, but I was there videoing. And yes, I did get into hives and I did go to the classes. I did go to the meetings. And I do believe that I've got pretty good knowledge. Plus, I've got materials, if nothing else, videos that I put out. I could put snippets of it together or something. I think I could put together a pretty comprehensive beekeeping thing. And I think this is for talking to people who are considering getting into beekeeping and want to know a little bit about it and stuff. So I believe I can do it. So I told her, sure, I'll take it. I'll do it. So sometime in January, I'm going to try to talk about beekeeping, which I think is interesting, and we'll see if I can get it done. I believe I can, though. I wouldn't. I don't want to. I don't want to lie to anybody and say, yeah, I can do this, and then just make a fool of myself. I really don't think I will. It's just was not something that I was doing on my own. So, and then I have to admit, since telling her yes, it makes me miss beekeeping. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't need something else to do. But I really did enjoy it. And we've got the equipment, I don't know how the hive boxes, most of them are probably rotted away and stuff now, but I've still got my bee suit. I don't know. I could probably do it. We'll see. Let me see. Let me get this talk out of the way, and then we'll see how it goes after that. So that was my main subject, and that's what I was talking about. Look, 10% of what's handed to you, and 90% of how you handle it. I was angry whenever Tom just walked away from the bees. So, but yeah, well, it's given me this opportunity now. So that's the 90% of what I do with it. Okay, the story of the day. And you know what? I don't know. As I tell this to you, I thought it was flat funny. I still get tickled with it. But, when you look back and go, really, why is that funny? I don't know. It was funny to me, though. I will admit Tom has been pretty enthusiastic about the the float for this coming parade on Saturday, and I'm really grateful. For a while, I couldn't even begin to think about it because I was too busy trying to get things ready for the children's Christmas play. But so he was taking care of a bunch of things, and we were both trying to, separately trying to think of something that was really not necessarily catchy, but something that would get people's attention to, that would reflect the church, and just, I don't know, something that would help people that saw our float would understand kind of what we represent and stuff. I don't know. I'm not saying it right, but I think you understand. We were wanting something that would get people's attention, and I wasn't helping. Well, and it's hard to top this. Literally, we are Foil Baptist Church, but the sign says Friendly Foil Baptist Church, and I will vouch these guys are friendly. So, so we could do that, I guess. I don't know. But Tom came to me the other morning. He goes, I think I came up with a phrase to go, something to put on the side of the float for the sign if we think it's okay. And I said, okay, what do you think it is? He goes, I'm sorry. He goes, Jesus is the reason. I said, is that it? He goes, well, I guess if there's room, we could put for the season. And I said, Tom, it's a 16-foot float, 16-foot trailer. There should be room to put the whole phrase. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to put Friendly Foil Baptist Church on it too. So I don't know how big the letters were he was going to put on it. That the only thing that would fit was Jesus is the reason. But I think we are going to try to do Jesus is the reason for the season. I don't know. I found it funny. It's still funny to me. I don't know what my deal is, but I thought it was funny. So, all right, my income producing activity of the day on top of the calendar is the fold card. I know some of you have been listening to heard a little bit about that. This is a prepaid uh, debit card. You put money on it and you spend it just like you always do. You can do it on Amazon, and they have different things, different companies that are part of it. But basically, when I go to Walmart, which I hate to do, but when I do, when I fill up with gas, when I go, pretty much any place I go, I use my prepaid debit card, and I'm earning what they call satoshis, which are just little micro bitcoins, and then after you have a transaction, they have a thing where you can either take, where it's 1% of your sale is you paid in 1% satoshis, or you can spin the wheel and have different things to show up. And of course, we all like to spin the wheel, and so you spin the wheel for it to get your Satoshi stuff. See how many Satoshis you've done. I don't spend a lot of money, but I think I've got, I forgot. I don't know. I think it was 65,000 Satoshis, and I don't know. It seems like it comes to be like $20 or something like that. I don't remember. It's not a lot, but it's more than what I would get for probably anything else on a debit card or a credit card and stuff like that. There's no, uh, it's prepaid, so it's not not going to cost you any money. There's no what's the word I want, uh interest on it or anything. So yeah, I like it. I have the link in the show notes below, and you can check into that. And whenever, it's kind of cool if you use my link, then I get credit for some, and then when you use a card, you get credit for it. It just kind of win-win for everybody. So that's my income producing activity for the day. Is the fold card. All right, this is pretty much it for the night. Where I can be found is the Grandma's Homestead YouTube channel, Farm Animal Life YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, MeWe, Twitter, and all the different versions of Thesia. They're either Thesia Ellis or Thesia Dayhoff Ellis or Thesia E. Just look me up and see, check me out on those. So, guys, live until you die. Don't try. Hopefully, you're not having to have pigs scary in the barn, in a dark barn in the middle of the night, and all the other things like that. But enjoy your life. Get off the couch, get up off the recliner, find something to make you happy, and get up out of bed in the morning and just live. God bless, guys. We'll see you next time.